Hi to everyone. This is Dr. V.N.S.R. Venkateswara, working as Associate Professor from the Department of Chemistry in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad, 543. So today I would like to give the topic on the preparation, properties and applications of the one of the important polymers, nothing but bakelite and nylon 66. So first of all, we see what are the contents present in the today's topic. So first of all, we should deal with the what are the preparation, what is the required preparation of the above said the polymers, nothing but polyphenol formaldehyde resins and bakelite. So phenol formaldehyde resins is also called as a bakelite. After that we see the nylon 66. So after the preparation individually by each and every polymer, then we move to properties. After that finally finish with the applications of that polymers. So first of all, let us start the polymer, nothing but bakelite. So bakelite is nothing but one of the commercial name for the phenol formaldehyde resins. Phenol formaldehyde resins. So that means generally it is called as a phenol formaldehyde resins. Why? Because the reactants is the phenol and formaldehyde. I think all of you know about the phenol. When benzene ring containing the OH group, when benzene ring containing the OH group, so that is nothing but a phenol. So only what is the formula for benzene? C6H6. And what is the formula for the phenol? One hydrogen is replaced by the OH group. That means C6H5OH. So this is the formula for phenol. And what is the formula for formaldehyde? Formaldehyde coming up from the one of the aldehydic group. So once you see the formula, CHEO. So this is the nothing but a aldehydic functional group. When hydrogen added to this aldehydic group, that is called as a formaldehyde. So when phenol reacts with the formaldehyde to give a bakelite. Okay, so this is the general reaction for a bakelite preparation. Okay. So that means basically this compound is called as a PF resins. PF resins. What is the meaning of PF? PF means phenol formaldehyde resins. And trade name, nothing but marketed name is nothing but a bakelite. Okay, so bakelite is nothing but a commercial name for the polymer obtained by the polymerization of phenol and formaldehyde. Okay, so because of this OH group, this is called as a phenol, and this aldehyde group, this is called as a formaldehyde. So when each reacts with the phenol with formaldehyde, it gives mainly three types of the compounds. So that may be either three types. First one is the monomethylol phenol, and second one is the dimethylol phenol, and third one is the trimethylol phenol. So that means first of all, we see what is the formula and what is the structure of the phenol. Phenol means C6H5OH formula, and structure is nothing but a benzene ring containing a OH. So in this case, we observe the methanol. So that is nothing but a mono. Mono means a single group. So that single group substituted at second position. So this is the first position, second, third, 4, 5, 6. So that means monomethylol phenol substituted at the first, second position. That means generally the formula for methylol is CH2OH. So I think all of you know what is the formula for methane. What is the formula for methane? CH4. So when one hydrogen is replaced, it becomes the CH3 methyl group. So and two atoms are replaced. This is called as methylene group. So this methylene group reacts with the OH. So that is nothing but a methylol phenol. So if this group is present in one, so that is called as a monomethylol phenol. And at the same time, what is the possibility of the second one? So that is nothing but a dimethylol phenol. So in this case, it will be substituted second and fourth position. So because of the presence of two methylol groups, this is called as a dimethylol phenol. And what is the third possible compound? This is substituted 2, 4 and 6. Okay, so this is nothing but the three possibilities. That means three substitutions placed on the benzene ring positions, nothing but 2, 4, 6. So that's why this is called as a trimethylol phenol. Okay, so these are the possibility of the compounds when phenol reacts with the formaldehyde. And this is the first step of the bakelite preparation. Now we see the second step of the preparation. So this is the second step of the preparation. That means the monomethylol phenol. So monomethyl means the first possibility compound. The first possible compound reacts with the another monomethylol phenol. What happens? The hydrolysis takes place. That means the OH group present in the methylol and hydrogen and the benzene ring reacts with each other to give a dehydration. Dehydration, nothing but loss of the water molecule, and to give a nova-like resin. Nova-like resin. So in case of the nova-like resin, we observe the horizontal link in between the two benzene rings. So that is nothing but a step 2. And we see the step 3. In step 3, what happens when nova-like resins is further heated in the presence of the formaldehyde, produces the hexamethylene diamine. Hexamethylene diamine. That nothing but a curing agent. Curing agent. So curing agent nothing but a cross-linked polymer. Cross-linked polymer. So cross-linked polymer means the polymer which contains both horizontal link and vertical link. So that is nothing but a bakelite polymer. See the structure. So it is the structure of the bakelite. In nova-like resin, we observe the only top structure, but in the bakelite, we observe the total structure. That means we observe in bakelite horizontal link and vertical link. So horizontal link and vertical link. So this is nothing but a cross-linked polymer. So because of this cross-linked polymer, the polymer gets the high stability. Okay, so this is the total preparation of the bakelite. Once I revise the topic, so bakelite involves the mainly 3 steps of the preparation. So in the first step, what happens when phenol reacts with the formaldehyde to give the mainly 3 possible compounds. So that is nothing but first one is the monomethylol phenol, and the second one is the dimethylol phenol, and third one is the trimethylol phenol. So out of 3 compounds, the first compound involves the step 2. So what is the step 2? The monomethylol derivative reacts with the another monomethylol derivative, undergoes the dehydration. Dehydration is nothing but a loss of water molecule to give a nova-like resin. Nova-like resin. So nova-like resin is nothing but a having a horizontal link, and further it undergoes the heating. Further it undergoes the heating in the presence of a formaldehyde. It gives a cross-linked polymer. So the process of heating step is nothing but a step 3 in bakelite formulation. So finally that agent is nothing but a curing agent and having cross-linked polymer, and which is highly stable. So we see the cross-linked polymer, it containing both horizontal link and vertical link. So that is nothing but a cross-linked polymer. Okay, so this is about the preparation of the bakelite. So after the preparation, we see properties of the bakelite. So what are the properties of the bakelite? Mainly, it can be quickly molded process. That means it will be easily molded into required shape. So after that, we see very smooth molding can be obtained from this polymer. That means that molding also takes place very smooth nature. And bakelite moldings are heat resistant and scratch resistant. That means these are applicable to at very high temperatures, and even is there any scratches applied on this material, so there is no scratch takes place on the surface of that material. So that's why this is called as a heat resistant and scratch resistant material. They are also called as resistant to several restrictive solvents. So that means even by applying the so many solvents on this compound, it will be restricted to those solvents. And owing to its low electrical conductivity, bakelite is resistant to electric current. So based on the phenomena of the conductivity, so conductivity is nothing but a reciprocal of the resistance. That means mobility of the ions, but it is very resistant to electrical conductivity and having very less. So that's why these are mainly applicable to the electric current resistant material. Okay, so this is about the properties of the bakelite. The first one is quick mold, and smooth molding can be obtained by the polymer, and third one is it can act as a heat resistant and scratch resistant material, and they are very resistant to so many destructive solvents. After that, finally, because of its low conductivity, it can be used as a electric current resistant material. Okay, after that, next we see the uses. So this is about the uses of a bakelite polymer. It is used for making the electric insulator parts like switches, like switchboards. That means these are mainly electric home appliances. So that is nothing but it is mainly used for the process of switches, lights, and switchboards. And the second one is for making molded articles like telephone parts, like cabinet of radio and television. So after that, it can be accessed as a anion exchanger in water purification by ion exchange method in boilers. That means it can act as a anion exchanger. That means negative ions. After that, it can act as a adhesive for grinding wheels, etc. So adhesive is nothing but a binding material. Binding material that can act as a binder, and it should be used in paints and varnishes. And for making bearing used in propellant shafts, paper industry, and rolling mills. So this is about the uses. So the first one is it is used in the electric home appliances, nothing but mainly switches, lights, and switchboards. After that, we see because of the molded nature, it can be used as a telephone parts and cabinets of the radio and television. So after that, it can be used as a anion exchanger. Anion exchanger means it removes the anion impurities present in that sample compound. So especially purification of the water in the case of the boilers. Okay. After that, adhesive material. Adhesive material means it can act as a binder like nature. So especially grinding in wheels, and also it can be used in paints and varnishes for coating materials, surface coating materials, and also it is used in propellant shops, industries like paper industry and rolling mills industry. So okay, so this is about the preparation, properties, and uses of the bakelite. Next, we move to second compound, nothing but nylon 66. So first of all, we see the preparation of the nylon 66. Okay, so nylon is a polyamide resin containing the recurring amide groups. Recurring amide groups, nothing but NH and CO in a structure produced by the copolymerization of the diamine with the acid. So what are the reactants? Diamine with acid. So undergoes the copolymerization. Copolymerization. Copolymerization is nothing but the reactants combine to give a large polymer. The monomers of the polymers reacts with each other to give a large chain polymer. So that is nothing but a copolymerization. So depending upon the number of the carbon atoms in diamine and dioxide, there are different types of the nylons like nylon 66 and nylon 610. Nylon 66 and nylon 610. Okay, so depends upon the total number of the carbon atoms. The total number of the carbon atoms in diamine dioxide. The nylon material can be classified into two types. So first one is the nylon 66 and second one is the nylon 60. Okay, so where the first number indicates the total number of carbon atoms in diamine and the second number indicates the total number of carbon atoms present in diacid. That means in nylon 66, the 6 carbon atoms present in the diamine and 6 carbon atoms present in the diacid. But in nylon 610, the 6 carbon atoms present in the diamine and 10 carbon atoms present in the diacid. So this is about the representation of the nylon 66 and nylon 610. Okay. So now we see the preparation of the nylon 66. Okay, so nylon 66 it is prepared by the condensation polymerization of adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine in the absence of the air. In the absence of the air. So what are the reactants? Adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Hexamethylene diamine, and the reaction takes place absence of air. That is the required condition. The absence of air. So previously we said that nylon 66 means the total number of the carbon atoms present in the diamine and adipic acid. Once you see the total number of the carbon atoms in diamine, how many carbon atoms? In this case, 6 carbon atoms present in the diamine. Okay, and how many number of the atoms in adipic acid? So 4 carbon atoms, 1. That means 6 carbon atoms present in the adipic acid. So this is about the representation of the nylon 66. So when you see the reaction, The adipic acid reacts with the diamine. The adipic acid reacts with the diamine. What happens? It undergoes the dehydration takes place. That means the OH molecule present in the adipic acid reacts with the hydrogen of the amine group. The hydrogen of the amine group undergoes the 2n1 minus 1 moles of the water. 2n minus 1 moles of the water. And finally, the resultant compound nylon 6,6. So this is the nothing but the resultant compound with the loss of the hydroxyl molecules from the adipic acid and one hydrogen from the amine group. That is nothing but a diamine. So this is about the structure of the nylon 6,6. Okay, so first of all, the nylon 6,6 is prepared by the condensation nylon. First of all, nylon 6,6 is prepared by the condensation polymerization of the adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine in the absence of air. Okay, so this is the structure for the adipic acid, and it contains totally 6 carbon atoms, and it reacts with the diamine. It also contains the 6 carbon atoms. Both are reacts with each other, undergoes the dehydration process with the loss of the 2n minus 1 moles of the water molecule, and finally the structure represents the nylon 6,6. Next, we see the properties of the nylon 6,6. So the structure of nylons are linear that permits the side-by-side alignment. That means, moreover, the molecular chains are held together by the hydrogen bonds. Thus, nylons have the high crystalline, which imparts high strength, high melting point, elasticity, toughness, abrasion resistance, and retention of the good mechanical properties up to 125 degrees centigrade. Okay, they are the polymers. They have good hydrocarbon resistance. They are the polymers and they have the good hydrocarbon resistance. Okay, so first of all, the structures of the nylon having the linear means they are having the only horizontal link. That means two-dimensional link polymers, and permits the side by side alignment. That means it reacts with the left side and right side alignment. That means, moreover, the molecular chains are held together by the hydrogen bonds. Which bonds? Hydrogen bonds. Thus, nylons have the high crystalline, which imparts high strength, high melting point, elasticity, toughness, abrasion resistance, and retention of the good mechanical properties that should be maintained up to the temperature should not exceed up to 125 degrees centigrade only. So that means they are the polar polymers. Polar means the charged polymers. Polar means chargeable. Okay, so they have the good hydrocarbon resistance. So now we see the properties point wise. First of all, high mechanical strength and high toughness, stiffness and hardness, and good fatigue resistance and good impact resistance, excellent wear resistance, and good electrical insulating properties, and no resistance to ultraviolet radiations, and lightweight and sometimes used in the place of the metals also. That means, first of all, basically it is a high mechanical strength material. That means physically very high stable. And the second one is the high toughness, stiffness and hardness material. High toughness, stiffness and hardness material. And having the good fatigue resistance. After that we see good impact resistance. And it can act as a excellent wear resistance materials. And having good electrical and insulating properties. Good electrical insulating properties. That means it is not a conductor, and it should not react with the ultraviolet radiations, and it is a very less weight. That's why this is sometimes used in the place of the metals used in various objects. So this is about the properties of the nylon 6,6. After that we see the uses of the nylon 6,6. So the major application is in the textile industry. So nylons are most popularly used in the fabrication industry, nothing but textile industry. So because of its high thermal and abrasion resistance, nylons are used in the mechanical engineering applications like gears, bearings, machine parts, where greater friction is there. That means if the friction is very high, in those cases we apply the nylons, especially used in the gears, bearings, machine parts, and highly friction takes place. So flexible tubings for convening, petrol, etc. are made from the nylons. And the nylons are used as a electrical insulators because of its property. Nylon 6 is used for making the tire cords, and nylons are used in the automobile industry and telecommunication industry for making radiator parts and coil forms respectively. So this is about the uses of the nylon 66. We see the first one, the major application used in the fabrication industry, nothing but textile industry, and because of the uh, higher friction, so in those cases it reduces the that friction present in the machinery parts. So that's why this can be used as a high thermal and abrasion resistance nylons used in the mechanical engineering applications like gears, bearings, machine parts, and greater friction is observed. So and flexible tubings convening petrol etc made from the nylons. That means in case of the petroleum pumps, the materials are made with the nylons, and these nylons have its property nothing but insulator used in the electrical insulating material, and this is also used for the manufacturing of the tire cords, and this is also used in the automobile industries and telecommunication industries, making radiator parts and coil forms respectively. So this is about the uses of the nylon 66. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.